Welcome aboard everyone, Simon here from the Wales of Wall Street. We've got a quick update here on IOTA, one of our fantastic favourite projects here in the AI and IoT sphere. Those that haven't watched yet, please do go check out our intro videos on this one, including other ones where we introduce Fetch AI, IoTX, and there's a couple of others coming this week as well in this amazing space. I mean, this is a multi-trillion dollar market in my opinion, as well as, of course, research opinions as well, which we covered in previous videos. So the sector is gigantic. The way the blockchain is moving to will need companies like IOTA and all these other fantastic projects to push us into the autonomous world, automated world, and encouraging very much a new infrastructure, fourth industrial revolution in my words, for anything and everything, supply chain, agriculture, finance, all of these things interlaced, and including ourselves as well as people within the system. So we've covered quite a bit in previous videos for IOTA about the know your customer, KYC aspect, in terms of identity, your verification of yourself, being able to essentially sell your data in your own rights and means, rather than companies taking your data on your behalf and selling it without you even knowing. So it's interlacing all of that, but more importantly as well, as we're entering a new full-on digital world, of course, things like when we're carrying around debit cards, driving licenses, passports, all of these things. Why on earth are we still doing that? Well, because there's no full, trusted, secure infrastructure in the background to be able to hold these things digitally, both on a trust level from our side as people and also on the company side to us. So you imagine it's all very well we could rock up with photoshopped or digital images and things on a phone and get into places or travel as and when we wanted. But the company, in the sense, doesn't have the infrastructure, the trust knowledge in the background to sort of allow us to do that in a trustworthy pattern across the world. So when we're looking at things like the Volksbank here, reusable KYC POC on their Self platform, you're really starting to look at things like as an identity actor. So this identity actor aspect here is of great interest, because it means that when AI is learning still from human and basically our input into machine of learning algorithms and behavioral patterns and things like this, there will come a point, we're not far off it, guys, we're not far off it, where things will act on our behalf. And that could be things like, I want to go on holiday, and it will maybe in a specific country, and already the algorithm of blockchain will know where you want to go, what you want to see, and it will book everything for you through tokenomics and this, that, and the other, transportation, hotels, all of these things that it knows about you and your behavior and your personality. All of these things will occur. And it's the same principle really with anything, with like purchases, whether it be things you take out of your fridge and it automatically orders them, or it thinks, oh, actually, Simon, you're low on this nutrition today because of the sensor inside you, we're going to order this on you. So this whole aspect of proof of concept, the self-sovereign identity, this is more around kind of things like transportation and identity frameworks. So where we were just talking a moment ago about things like transportation, passports and this, that and the other, but also with banks. And that's why this in particular with Volksbank, with this element of infrastructure, is allowing people to have that trust mechanism already put in data and blockchain for you to be able to go and do what you wanted in the bank, essentially, and obviously within reason. But if you're trying to set up a new business or something like that, usually you have things like the insurance to think about, you have all the application process. But because of smart contracts and your individual identity within the frameworks, this thing will become even easier for people to utilize. So I'm really interested to see how this develops, and it won't just be Volksbank, of course. I think more and more across the world. What's important, as we mentioned in the previous video, is the big interaction right now with IOTA and the sort of the German or Germany's Commission and Parliament right now. Is they're working very hard with that, and of course, IOTA being involved heavily in the European Commission in general as well. I think this is going to be an absolute top project that is already in use, that is already being trialled, as you can see, for a multitude of services and projects in the background. So when you and I, as people, if I knew nothing about blockchain as I do now and all these projects, I would just literally go rock up with a smartphone and know that it works, or the whatever it is in the background is doing its thing. But it's quite amazing once you're in this space and once you understand it all. Like, people just wander in and out of the world and be like, not really understand how it's working. They're just happy that it works, and it's just like, oh yeah, this is great. And it's as if it's a slow transition that's become their normality, and they haven't really thought about how it's come about. So it's really fascinating to see these kind of projects in the background working towards that goal. But I just thought I'd share that bit of information and thought process with you guys. But let's jump into the chart, see where IOTA is. If you're enjoying this content, smash that like button, massively helps us out. So guys, IOTA has had a bit of a dip today, as you can see. We've hit our buy opportunity, which is fantastic. I need to go and check my Binance account, because I think that is going to be nice and healthy now with this take up. So I did sell actually some, I bought some IOTA a few days back, I think around this period here, and we've got a little uptake here, and I'm taking advantage of this nice drop. So I think I've hit that. I think we put ours at 132. So that's fantastic. It's great to be in the IOTA community, but also now hold IOTA is something I've shouted about for ages. I couldn't be bothered to wait for another big drop. I was like, I need to do this now. So it's good to see that play out. Take advantage of that. But yeah, in general, guys, we're on track in my opinion. I think we're just trying to find the support mechanism here at the 130 level. Could we come back down to this level around 120? That is a possibility. In fact, I might just move this one up here just as a possible opportunity, slightly above that 120 mark, to take possible advantages of a dip. But we're seeing this nice pattern here. We're just slightly under trend that we drew in a few days ago. But if we just readjust that slightly, you can see it's very nice, healthy trend upwards. We had the correction because we had had a nice uptake from this point here as we drew previously. If I just move that slightly low, so it's bang on the line, we've had a nice 58% increase. And then on the way down, let's just have a look at that quickly. As of right now's recording, we have already had a drop from yesterday's number, 20%. So to take us to 30% kind of takes what we were talking about here, and 30% is usually a typical reduction. But I think there's a lot of power behind IOTA right now for us to do that. But you might just see, potentially, over the next week or two, a correction, certainly down to this area, probably 130, and arguably potentially down to here, around this 120 mark, to just confirm the support area. Not saying it'll definitely happen, but just be wary of that, and it could be a good buy opportunity, possibly. Other things to consider as well, on the histogram here, the selling volume has reduced. The MACD is narrowing slightly, so we just got to keep an eye on that. And the RSI is pretty much in the middle as well. So it's really about this critical stage the next 2-3 days around this 130 area to determine if we are finding that resistance there and being able to pop back up to 138, or if we're going to come down and test this area here. Let us know what you think in the comments below. 6% up on the week, 12% down on the month, which is a bit disappointing for IOTA, but it's just great buying opportunities in my opinion for a gigantic project. Year to date, still 344% up, guys. Let's leave that there. Let us know if you're holding IOTA. But that's where I see things happening in the next few days, coming down to test this area properly before we decide, are we taking this up or are we coming back down to this lower level here at 120? Let us know what you think is going to happen in the next couple of weeks, guys. But in my opinion, IOTA is a giant. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.